welcome to the Camp Gamers Let's Play of Towns. Towns is a game that was turned on to you by one of our regular stream watchers, Frederick. And he told me about this game, and it's in alpha right now. It's at 0.46. I pre-ordered it to support the company because it's got a lot of interesting ideas. So first to give you an idea, the main idea around Towns is that you want to build a thriving town, and for whatever reason, you decided to settle in a place that has all sorts of dungeons underneath it. So whoever did that was a stupid idiot, but yeah, you have to live with it anyways. So, Towns is a very, very fun game. It takes a while to get used to. I've lost probably at least 10 rounds of it consecutively without fail. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get started, and what I usually do is my traditional start of my town. So we shall name this Camptropolis. So welcome to Camptropolis. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a stockpile. It's very important that you have a place to store your goods. And I always look out for a good, big, flat area to start with, because that's where I like to start all my buildings off. So this is actually a really nice field area right here. So here we'll make the stockpile that big. And there's different stockpiles. You have food, materials, that sort of thing. So I try to have some of each type of stockpile available. Alright, so there's my stockpile. My stockpile is ready. And once your stockpile is going, you really want to start by chopping down wood. I mean, that's going to be like your bread and butter. You need wood for everything. So we're going to go ahead and order my villagers to chop down a certain portion of trees. And then we're also going to order them to till. Now, tilling is what you need to basically have most of your supplies ready. So I'm going to have them till, let's see, that's 2, 3, 4. Have them till that big. Oh, you can't. Oh, that's right. You can't till over stone. I forgot about that. So what I'm going to use this area for is a tree farm, because that's a really important feature. And then over here, I will have them till for the farmland. Now, farmland's an important thing to have. It's also important that you have plenty of farmland, because if you don't, then you really end up messing yourself up later in the game. So it's probably not my favorite starting position I've ever played, but it'll work. So here come my villagers. And we're going to, any place I see this wild wheat, I'm going to be having them harvest it, because it's super important to have wheat ready. Because that's what really is going to sustain my villagers through the first part of the game. So, and this is a change. It used to not be this way. They used to be a little bit different in how you started off the game. But I actually like the way that some of the changes that the developer has made recently have made it so I actually don't lose nearly as quickly, and the villagers are much smarter in the way that they do things, which is very helpful. Here we're going to harvest some of these fruits as well. So here go my villagers. They're harvesting. They've tilled this area up, which is great. And they're going to go over and take down some of these fruits. And fruits are a quick way if you need to make sure you're going to survive in the very beginning. Fruit will at least keep you alive for a little bit. So that'll make sure your villagers don't kill themselves of starvation, which happens. It really does happen, and it's really unfortunate when it happens. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to set up my planting zone. So we're actually going to go to planting up here, and we're going to have them plant wheat. And the shift key is your friend in this, because you can only, right now at least, you can only do this in straight lines. But if you do shift, it repeats your command. So for instance, once they finish that spot, you guys gonna finish that spot? There we go. Do it. There we go. There we go. So now that those are gonna start growing wheat, which is great. I'm just gonna continue to fill this area up with wheat, because we're gonna need a lot of wheat. So And let go of shift, and there's a pine tree in my way. Alright, so now there's a priorities task, and in order to make sure your citizens don't run out of things, you go up here to this priorities panel. First thing is baking and cooking, that's almost always it. And then the second thing they have is gathering and harvesting, mining and digging. You can adjust these priorities based on what you need. They're hauling, which means they're pretty much at the bottom of their priorities list as far as what to do. So, which is quite okay. There's another one, found another one, harvest that wheat. Because I'd rather have them hauling stuff, so. So wheat is basically your bread and butter. You really need a lot of wheat to make something work well. So that's full. Now that means they're going to be all set with that. So what other things can you do? Well, kind of like if you've ever played the game Dungeon Keeper, that's a lot of what we're going to be doing here. You set up zones like this, and then I'm going to put walls around it, wooden walls, like so. Oop, need a carpenter bench. Forgot to do that first. So I'm over here to utilities, and we're going to build a few carpentry benches and a few wood detailers, but I need stone for that. So basically what's going to happen now is they're going to take some of the wood that they made. They made a couple carpentry benches. That's the initial crafting item, and then we're going to make a couple wood detailers. And in order to get wood detailers, we have to dig. So we're going to have them dig a hole there and put a ladder in. And then at the same time, in order to make sure we don't run out of wood supplies, we're going to go back to planting, and I'm going to order them to plant. And look around, I got those kind of bushes, so I'm going to order them to plant 2 rows of that. Do I have pine trees around here? Got a few palm trees. Yeah, there are pine trees. And then 2 rows of pine trees. All right. So now they're going to come, they're going to plant those, and those will provide a renewable source where when I cut those trees down over here, they didn't come back. These ones will continue to come back time and time again. So one thing I'm looking out for little frogs. They're really annoying, and they cause major issues. There's some more wild wheat if they start attacking your villagers. So I try to make sure my villagers don't go anywhere near frogs. So we'll get all this wheat harvested. Wow, there's a lot around here. Now I can build a bridge eventually too to get to the other side, which I will do. But for the now, we're just going to stay on this one side. So now they have all of the trees filled, which is great. And we're going to continue. Looks like they're getting pull that wheat that I told them to pull. And there you can see there's the first few things of wheat. Next time on Towns, we continue the wheat farm.